Ipswich Hospital has been named as one of the NHS Trusts of the Year by the Dr Foster Hospital Guide.
This year's report has also noted significant improvements in two Essex NHS trusts, where 12 months ago death rates were among the highest in the country. Victoria Lampard has more.
Over the years, Ipswich Hospital has had its fair share of criticism, but the doctors and nurses and other staff who work here have now been given a great accolade.
There's always been a great focus in this hospital on what I'd call safety. By that I mean avoiding infections, avoiding errors of all kinds in relation to patient safety, and our staff are really very focused on that. And I think this is the peak of work that we've been doing for many years now.
Dr Foster's monitoring body looks at a range of issues, including mortality rates and standards of care for particular conditions such as stroke and orthopaedics, building a picture of patient care in the hospital.
Ipswich has done a lot of work. It really has improved a great deal over recent years, and they came out very well on a wide range of measures, and we really felt they deserved to be named as one of our hospitals of the year.
A lot of services, particularly head and neck cancer services, pancreatic cancer services, were taken away from Ipswich and sent elsewhere, and that sent a very bad message out to staff and patients about the future of the hospital. And I think that what we need to do now is ensure that we actually help to build up Ipswich Hospital and continue with the good work that's going on.
Good news also for Basildon and Thurrock and Colchester Hospital University NHS Trust. Just 12 months ago, concerns were raised over the high mortality risk at both hospitals, but the Dr Foster report shows there's been significant improvement. Patients visiting Ipswich Hospital today said they were reassured by its new status.
We've been pleased with a lot of the service we've had, yes, we've come for various things.
My mum has to come up here quite a lot at the moment and they've been excellent.
After such a positive outcome this year, staff will be working hard to maintain public confidence. But with hospital care constantly under scrutiny, they know there's still a lot of hard work ahead. Victoria Lampard, Anglia News, Ipswich.
It may be several days before police can officially identify two people killed in a car crash in Essex. The car collided with a bridge support and burst into flames on the A120 near Colchester yesterday morning. It's believed the people in the car were a married couple from Clacton.
The Fire Brigade Union is warning that plans to shut down an emergency call centre in Suffolk could put lives at risk. Suffolk County Council is meeting tomorrow to discuss plans to transfer all emergency fire calls from Ipswich to a controversial regional control centre in Cambridgeshire. The government wants to replace all local control centres with 9 regional centres across the UK. The Fire Brigade Union says there's been no consultation with staff or the public, and that local knowledge is vital in getting to an emergency as quickly as possible.
A new centre for victims of sexual assault has opened in Ipswich today. The Ferns is Suffolk's first sexual assault referral centre and will be available 24 hours a day for all victims, including children. It's thought that there are a large number of unreported rapes nationally, and it's hoped the 30 centres like this across the country will help empower victims.
A sexual assault referral centre is a new way of supporting victims of rape and serious sexual assault, in that it gives them options. Even if they don't want to report to the police, they can access a forensic medical examination, healthcare pathways and support and counselling.
2 men have been pulled out of the Orwell estuary by lifeboat crews after what police suspect was a reckless drug smuggling attempt.
The pair were seen jumping from the back of the Harwich to Hook of Holland ferry as it came into port yesterday morning. Police believed they were trying to evade border security, as Tom Barton now reports.
An early morning shout for the Harwich lifeboat. Reports of 2 people in the sea, seen jumping off the back of a ferry. After searching the Orwell estuary, the men are spotted by helicopter and picked up by the lifeboat. The Coast Guard was alerted early on Sunday morning after crew members on board the Stena Line ferry reported seeing a number of passengers jumping overboard. The RAF search and rescue helicopter was scrambled, as well as both Harwich lifeboats. When they were pulled out of the water, both men were wearing full-body wetsuits and flippers. Despite this, they needed hospital treatment.
The persons were spotted down tide from Parkston, where they'd drifted. Helicopter hovered on top. They were recovered by the inshore lifeboat and transferred for bringing ashore to the bigger lifeboat.
It was freezing cold yesterday. What sort of condition were the people in?
Very cold. I believe they are OK, to be honest. Once they were recovered and transferred, they were warmed and then handed over to awaiting ambulance and police officers.
The men were taken to Colchester Hospital where they're being treated for hypothermia. Along with 3 men found on the land, they were initially arrested on suspicion of drug smuggling. 2 of the men arrested on shore have since been released, but police say they expect the men who were found in the water to be re-arrested on outstanding warrants once they've recovered. Tom Barton, Anglia News, Harwich.
Students who have been occupying part of a Cambridge University building have been served with a trespass notice. The protest against government plans to raise tuition fees has been taking place in the combination room. It's now into its 4th day. The students want the university to support their opposition to the fees, which could be as high as £9,000.
Now, before we hear from Ollie Mers, a weekend all about records on the sporting front, particularly in the Ashes and the East Anglian Derby.
All the details are in Anglia Sport.
Whatever your game, enjoy it with Anglian Home Improvements, sponsors of Anglia Sport.
Well, first, Sunday's East Anglian Derby had us delving through the record books.
Yep, Norwich's 4-1 thrashing of Ipswich matched their biggest derby win since 1995, while Grant Holt scored City's first derby hat-trick in more than 40 years. Jim Rice has more on that.
History and a hero in the making. Grant Holt's first ever league hat-trick, and for Norwich fans, it couldn't have come in a better game, bringing derby delight and despair in equal measure.
It's a great win. I thought everything we planned to do from the start worked. We worked, put the ball in an area where we thought we could hurt them, and did. It's a fantastic win, and I'm sure everyone's happy.
Supporting a cause and following your team, that's really what being a football supporter's all about.
Holt wasn't even born when the only other Norwich hat-trick in a derby was scored by Hugh Curran in 1968. Norwich's 4th goal also matched the total of that 68 game and equalled Norwich's best effort in a derby. For Ipswich, it was a day of few highlights. Damien Delaney's header did level the scores briefly, but the same players sending off for a foul on Holt sealed the game's fate before it was halfway through. No time to dwell, though, on refereeing decisions or mistakes made, with the Carling Cup quarter-final just 2 days away.
We've no excuses. I think, as I said, we played our part in our own downfall, and that was gifting a couple of goals away and just sending off. So, no excuses. I know the fans have suffered, so we've got a big game on Wednesday to try and make it up to them.
It's a disgraceful game. I watched so much of it and then I turned it over.
That's the worst we've ever had it. I don't want to say it, but yeah, keen out, I'm afraid.
For Norwich's hero, there was just one thing missing. From final whistle to facing the cameras, the Movember charity moustache had gone.
The lads have dug in for a month now, and I don't think many of the missus have been giving them kisses this month. So, no, it's a great cause, and as I said, if we get all the donations that people said they're going to do from us win the game, we'll make a lot of money this month.
And there's little doubt the moustache will fade in the memory of Norwich fans well before the hat-trick. Jim Rice, Anglia News.
Good to see all the Mo's have gone, isn't it? Yeah. You a Mo lover? Well, you can find full derby interviews plus an extended feature on Hugh Curran's 1968 hat-trick. It's all at itv.com/Anglia.
And on the topic of football, you'll also find player and manager interviews from the FA Cup action from the weekend too.